Welcome back to M Hood Fishing, everybody. This morning I'm over here looking for big fish, and that could be anything right now. We still haven't had a massive cold front come through, so we still could have a lot of bull shark, especially those pups in the river. We got us a big chunk of mullet here on a 10-aught octopus hook, steel leader, because we might get a gar, we might get a shark, we might get a catfish. We're using 3 ounces of lead on a sinker slide, 80-pound braid. Here's my reel. It's got a bait runner on it. Just using a 10-foot Daiwa beef stick right now. We're gonna go ahead and get this out because we might get shut down, we might not. We have gotten us a late start this morning. It is almost 8 a.m. Because I'm in Southeast Louisiana, of course, I have a shark not a shark, I have an alligator hanging out with me. I might have a shark hanging out with me, you never know. It's starting to rain, and it's not supposed to really rain until we get later in this afternoon. This is a tight spot. I might trim a tree doing this, but here we go. Nice. That rain is starting to come down a little heavier. Hopefully it's just a momentary thing. I bet it passes. Well, I hope. This afternoon is when the rain is supposed to be thick, but the last I checked the weather overall for the day, they had a 45% chance of rain, but it's all in the afternoon. It could get worse, you know, forecast change around here on a dime. While we're waiting for this to go off, we are going to look for white bass because we're in a good place for white bass if they're here. That is a Johnson silver spoon. There's that alligator I was talking about. This river level that I'm fishing this morning is just under 4 feet. We got a pretty strong current coming into this channel that leads back this way for a short distance. Let fish come and go out of it. I was only able to do one cast with my silver spoon and look around, and I'm getting a little bite. I've disengaged my bait runner because if it's a cat and he pulls good, he's going to hook himself. We haven't had a massive cold front like I said earlier, so we're going to still have a lot of gaff top. This is a deeper hole that we're fishing. There will be gaff top coming out of it, but it's more likely that we'll also bang into some freshwater cats, because this area is going to hold more fresh water and a water temperature that blue cats and channel cat, especially blue cat in my thinking here, blue cat are going to like this water temp in this deeper water right now. I don't mean that they're going to be in the deepest part of this hole, but they'll be somewhere transitional points, either below it or above it, waiting for stuff to come through. And we're kind of near a transitional point. We're not in the deepest part. We're on like we're in maybe 30 to 40 feet of water right now, and there is a deeper drop off further out, and we're just above that. Nothing's coming of that. Yeah, probably a small fish. So today is the 8th of September. Full moon is on the 10th, and I can already tell how close we are because the tide is a lot stronger today than it was a few days ago. There is more current here. This current is a lot stronger here. Take it down. This might be a little fish again. Thinking about dropping the hook size down because we're just getting these types of bites left and right. I am totally giving up on big baits. We're going to drop our hook size down pretty far down. I'm not sure what size this is. I made this leader a couple of years ago. It's just been hanging around in a bag. So that's probably a 4, in between a 4 and a 6/0 Kale right there. I'm going to put a fillet on here. It's from a small mullet. It's the whole fillet. Yes, finally we got a hook up here. Couldn't tell you what we've got. Feels like a gaff top, honestly. Does have head shakes, but they're really tight and it's fighting pretty good. It's not a huge fish. Yep, it's a gaff top. Better than nothing. Not a very big one. I'm not keeping gaff top today. Even though this is a smaller hook with a relatively smaller bait, the chances of getting into a big fish are still there. But sometimes I have to do this just to walk away from a session without being skunked. So let's see what else we can get. We'll throw that back out. This wind is starting to crank up. He's still hanging out, and he probably will be for a while. I think the tide is starting to come up too, because I was able to stand right there and now there's water. Oh. Yes. Feels like a gaff top again. They always have really tight head shakes. Fighting like one too. About the same size as the first one. Something's playing with it. I'm just gonna let him have it for a minute. Okay. This is probably a gaff top. That bait is still on there. He's still hitting. And he's got a good amount of tension on there right now. I'm gonna go ahead and pull the rod out. I'm hooked up with something here. This feels like a gaff top again, but at the moment it does feel a little heavy. Maybe if we get him over that drop off, he'll lighten up. It's got those tight little head shakes like a gaff top. Might just be a bigger one. I'm thinking gaff top for sure now. Freshwater cat would have probably beaver-tailed by now anyway. Ooh, nice little run right there. He's right here in front of me. Yep, it's just a bigger gaff top. This just turned into a catch and cook. That was a really deep hook. This fish isn't gonna make it, so we're gonna take it home and have it for lunch. Got a bottle, it's open right there. I've pulled this fish's gills. Now I'm gonna slip him in there because he'll bleed out better in that water. Just take it down, take it down, take it all the way down. Keep going, keep going. Are you there? Let's see. Oof. There you are, gotcha. I waited for him to do something. Pulled back, strike, setting the hook. I was waiting for him to strike again. Feels like a gaff top again. It is past 10 o'clock. We already got one to take home to cook. Still, I'm very tempted to stay a little longer just to see if we can get something. Ooh, that was quite a fight right there. Something other than gaff top out of here this morning. But pretty soon it's not going to be morning anymore. Can't stay here all day. The ferry doesn't run 24/7. This is Even better than the one I just kept. Fighting right there, right into the left. It's about that size that I just kept, just a little bigger, and looks like a good hook set. It's not deep in there, it's right on the outer lip. Look at that. That is a good size one, but one of these is enough for today. Don't want more than one for lunch. Nice. What are you looking at? Alligator. All right. All right, so this is done, ready to go on my frozen water bottles. When I'm going to transport a gaff top in one of my soft coolers, I always take these fins off so we don't poke holes. Probably going to poke holes anyway. More holes you poke in your soft tote, the less it works. These soft cooler bags are good, but once they get all holy, they ain't so good. Okay. This is another gaff top for sure. Smaller. There you go. It is just about noon now and I am starving, so let's go. First thing I want to do is get some black eyed peas going. Get us a couple of sausages out, a couple of sausage patties. They're still frozen. Put them in there. We're going to promptly come back and change our mind and get 2 more sausage patties. Put them in there. So that's 4 sausage patties. I'm going to turn on the heat now or nothing's going to happen. We're just going to thaw and brown. Before I caught the fish, this is actually what I was going to have for lunch. Just sausage and black eyed peas. Put some of this in there. Onion, celery, red and green bell peppers. Let's add a bay leaf or 2. A little bit of garlic and herb seasoning here. Beef broth. Just want to make sure everything is covered in the broth. That's probably good right there. I am putting the sausage in here, but that's going to be a minute. We're going to go ahead and get this up to a boil. That is brown enough. I wanted to get a lot of grease into this pan while I was doing this. As you can see, I'm not intending on putting these patties into the black eyed peas whole. We are doing this, chopping it up a little bit. Did not want this to go brown all the way, just lightly brown. This is the hot version of this, spicy. This is a take on a comfort food from Texas that I enjoyed when I was young, which it was just simply Jimmy Dean's breakfast sausage patties and pinto beans. At the time, it was the Jimmy Dean's that was spicy. It was like a black pepper top. Maybe some of you are familiar. It's expensive, so we're using this brand, which is good. I like this brand. So now that it's rapidly boiling, I'm gonna go ahead and cover it, turn it down to a simmer, and it's gonna take about an hour. It's been about an hour. We're gonna add some roux now. I tasted the black eyed peas. They are getting really soft. It is just about ready. There we go. I'm gonna start at the back. Some people don't, but you can. Let that knife ride flat on the spine. And just come up. If I leave anything along there, I can come with the knife and take it later. All right, now I'm bringing the knife up because we're on the rib cage. We're gonna come around the dorsal there because it's kind of knobby. There we go. Gotta do like a circular cut right there, and then that's it. That's as far up we can go. Kind of open this a little bit. If I didn't get all the way to the ribs, I am now. And I'm going to just ride that rib cage right there all the way down. All right, now I'm just gonna come over here and then finish. There we go. That'll wash off all that blood right there. Sometimes when you do it that way, you might leave some, but there's not much here. But you can always see, just take your knife, cutting, starting below the spinal cord, riding the bones down. There's not much there. It's not worth bothering with. There's a little bit here too, but again, it's not much to bother with. I prefer to cut the fillets off the skin, and to do that I hold the back of the skin running the knife. I never do this, never put my hand on top of the fillet. I'll mess up. Try to hold that knife flat. Remember, if you don't get it all the way to the skin, that's okay, because real close to the skin there's going to be more of that red meat. But if the red meat is your jam and you want to get it, go ahead and do another pass. And there we go. See what I mean? See all that red meat right there? I know some cats that would like that. To get that little strip of red meat, doing a diagonal cut towards each other. And there we go. I got it. Here's my fillets. Here's some Zatarain's seasoning, garlic and herb. Do a bit of a dusting on both sides, but we'll start with the one. And then we're going to finish up on both sides with a dusting of Paul Prudhomme's shrimp seasoning here. To get that seasoning to stick, I've sprayed the fish with a little bit of olive oil. All right, let me finish this up, and then I'm going to stick this in the fridge for about 15 minutes, 20 minutes, something like that, to let all that settle in. All right, so I've got the sausage grease heated up nice and hot. There we go. Put the fillets in, rattle them around, get that grease all soaked up. I know to some people it might seem odd, downright disgusting, but it's not that out of the ordinary to cook food and say what I'm doing right now. Grease from something else you cooked earlier. Our ancestors did it, so why can't you? This is going to pretty much taste like blackened catfish without all the smoke. Flip them one more time. Oh, that's looking good. Doesn't quite look like blackened catfish, but it's gonna taste like it. Did not take long at all. A couple minutes per side. There we go. Look at it, guys. Doesn't that look good? Basically, the black eyed peas is a gravy over the rice. The rice is jasmine, and that fillet looks really nice. And there's no smoke in the house. It smells a lot like blackened catfish in here without the smoke, I must say again. All right. I've been waiting for this for a while. Sometimes some of the cooking I do takes what it takes. It takes time. But it can definitely be worth it to take your time, get it done right. A little bit of fish with the rice and the gravy. Try to get a piece of fish without that. Yeah, I like doing it that way. I've done it before. It's a lot like blackened catfish without all the smoke. If you follow my recipe, if you're not much into spice, you don't have to go so heavy-handed like I do. But I kind of like I like to overdo it a little bit, but I know my limits. The black eyed peas is really good. I've got enough left over for later. I'm so hungry I could just sit here and finish this whole bowl. Let me get another piece of fish before we say, oh. Yeah, those are good together. Not a problem. All right, guys, thanks for watching, liking, sharing, and subscribing, and I'll see you next time.